GM friends. Today I'm going to be doing a quick video guide building on top of what Pix on-chain has written a couple days ago. So all credits goes to Pix. He has created this guide on how to farm HyperEVM ecosystem, essentially staying as delta neutral as possible, getting more than 40% plus APY, while at the same time farming more than 7 protocols on HyperEVM. So let's get right into it. Now, obviously, Pix has also created this very useful website that allows you to truly understand the step-by-step process, and also provides like a calculator for you to guesstimate how much returns you would be getting, and also like the direct links to all of the URLs that is a part of this guide. Basically takes you straight to the protocol's website. But just in case you need something a bit more visual, stay tuned to this episode and I'm going to show you exactly where to click and where to go on every single website. All right, so first things first, obviously what you need to do is to get some capital to Hyperliquid. And in order to do that, you need to go to app.hyperliquid.xyz directly, and you can click on deposit, move some money over from Arbitrum. You can also choose other native assets such as Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana. That service is provided by HyperUnit, the new protocol created by Shoku. So you can also go to hyperunit.xyz to understand more about how this protocol operates and so on. But essentially, it enables you to deposit native BTC, ETH, and SOL and have that balance reflected on your Hyperliquid perp front end. All right, once you have some money on Hyperliquid, what you have to do is essentially split those money over. Let's say if you have deposited $500, what you want to do is to have $250 buying Hype spot and the remaining $250 doing a 1x short on Hype perps market. So essentially you're staying market neutral. As you can see here, I've already done this ahead of time, but essentially what you have to do is to go to trade and then choose the spot market. Let's say you want to choose the spot Hype market, check. All right, I've already went ahead. But essentially what you have to do is click on trade and then choose the spot Hype market. I'll just market buy with like whatever size that you have. So let's say like I bought $150 worth of Hype. So I have spot Hype, and then you go to the market and then just choose the perps, go to Hype perp, click on short, make sure that your margin is 1x here so you're not liquidated because you just want to have a delta neutral exposure into Hype, and then short the equivalent amount of Hype that you have purchased on the spot market. Just to give a bit more example here, I have opened $150 worth of Hype short and 1x, and I have bought $150 worth of Hype spot. Now, once you've done that, click here, transfer to and from EVM, and essentially move your Hype from the spot markets to the HyperEVM. I've already done that ahead of time, so I couldn't show you exactly here, but essentially you would just click on, click here, and then put the amount of Hype that you have and send 50% of whatever balance that you initially deposited to Hyperliquid to HyperEVM. Once you have that balance on HyperEVM, we want to stake your Hype so it becomes staked Hype, and you want to stake it on Hyperbeat. So go to Hyperbeat, click on staking, and then stake all of the Hype that you have on HyperEVM. Make sure that you leave some remaining for gas and all of that. So after you have your Hype, what you want to do next is to stake your Hype on Hyperbeat. So go to Hyperbeat, click on staking, and then stake that Hype that you have sent to HyperEVM. Once you have that staked Hype, what you want to do is to use that staked Hype as collateral to borrow more Hype, and then pretty much do the looping strategies that's quite common in all of the DeFi ecosystem, but this time you are going to be doing it on HyperEVM. So go to sentiment.xyz, click on the borrow tab, and then here at the top market, you can borrow Hype by depositing your staked Hype. So I'm going to deposit all of my staked Hype, and then I'm going to borrow, let's say, whatever, it's probably going to be like 85% like LTV. All right, once that's done, what you're going to be doing is to go back to Hyperbeat and then stake the borrowed Hype that you have just borrowed again. So let's say I ended up borrowing 3.3. So let's see, I ended up borrowing 3.3 Hype, and now I'm going to stake that again to Hyperbeat. Now, you might be a bit confused because like, okay, where is my Hype, right? Because you're not able to see it here. You would have to go to HyperSwap first, and that enables you to either wrap or unwrap your Hype. So in this case, I am going to, so you would have to go to Hyperbeat first in order to unwrap your Hype so you can use it and stake it again on, let's see here, I'm going to unwrap my wrapped Hype to Hype, and then I am going to deposit it again on Hyperbeat. Okay, so now we have more staked Hype, and now we are going to be going to Hyperdrive. All right, so we have more staked Hype, and now we are going to be going to Hyperdrive. So first of all, what you need to do is to click on the borrow section here, the borrow window, and then go to the LST market and click on borrow from market. Now, you need to supply your your stake type first before you can borrow. So I'm going to supply everything again. And then once that's done, I've supplied 3.28. I'm going to borrow. Click on borrow here. I'm going to borrow, let's say in this case, I'll keep it at 70%. So I will borrow 1.6 hype. All right, after you're done with the borrowing, so as you can see, I have 1.6 hype here. Now we are gonna go back to Hyper-beat again. So go back to Hyper-beat again and stake. So this is the third loop at this point. Stake the hype that you've just borrowed, yada, yada, yada. Now we're gonna be going to HyperFi and again, deposit the staked hype that we just staked and borrow more hype. So let's go here, click on the pooled markets, click on the pooled markets, click on staked hype, click deposit. We want to deposit everything, approve and deposit. Once that's done, we will borrow. Once that's done, go back to the pooled markets, click on hype, click on borrow. Once that's done, click on borrow here. Once that's done, go back to the pooled markets, click on hype, borrow the hype, and I'm just gonna maximize it, approve and borrow. And lastly, what you wanna do is go to HyperLen and use that borrowed hype that you've just borrowed and finally deposit it here on HyperLen. Once that's done, you're gonna go back to Hyper-beat again. This time, I think it's the fourth loop, and you will stake the borrowed hype again. So it becomes staked hype. And lastly, you want to go to HyperLen and deposit that staked hype so you can get yield for it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the entire step might take you a while to like execute, but essentially what it's doing is that it's using the 50% of the initial capital that you deposit to Hyperliquid and make that work on 6 to 7 different protocols. Basically what you're doing is just like staking it and then use the staked hype to borrow hype and then put that into like different money markets. So you can get the yield on the supply side. This whole thing should work as long as the borrow rate is cheaper than the upside that you will be generating by leveraging up 4 times. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you can, I hope you're able to follow through the entire videos. And if this is useful, please kindly share it. Thanks.